So, day 6.
All right, day 6, really busy day in retrospect. Got up early, went down to TV station, the main TV station in Karachi. I don't know if it's News One or TV One, with Rehan, and very friendly hostess there. We got to sit and talk a little bit before and after the interview. They interviewed Rehan and talked about his project and what he's got going on, and interviewed me to see what my perspective of Pakistan was and is, and a little bit about Peace, the journalist, the anchor there of that show is very interested in peace, which right now I think is at the forefront of a lot of the news, with trying to avoid a conflict between India and Pakistan. And she kind of reflected a lot of what I've seen so far, is that, you know, when you see news on the media, they're very provocative in saying that, you know, okay, what about war? And, you know, the news always reports negative, and which is one of the reasons why I don't watch it. But it was great to see a news station reporting something positive, and she posed a question, you know, do you want peace, or, you know, do you think people want peace? And everybody I know, nobody wants war. You know, if you get it down to the personal level, what happens? It's one human being hurting or killing another human being, and that's just not as civilized as we should be by now. It's not what should be happening. And it was great to see her and be asked by her and have her promote that. You know, that's the real communication that should be in the mass media, not this other crap. Pretty simple on my part, pretty simple to everybody that I talk to, but, you know, I don't know how that can get to the leaders of these countries, or what their real motive is if they're not listening to their own people. We left the TV station, went down, and was fortunate to get to meet I guess one of the owners, managers of the local Coca-Cola bottling company. They make the Coca-Cola for around here, and another cola that I saw on some signs but never realized is Pac Cola, which is very tasty and is really a cream soda in the U.S., the same flavor as cream soda, but very good. One of the things I was impressed by was the cleanliness of the place there. Unlike, you know, going out in the streets where you see garbage, there was nothing around. Trash-wise, it was very clean, very neat, very orderly. We got an invitation while we were there to, they have a mosque service, or they do their prayers 5 times a day. I got invited to go into there, and I stood in the back while watching my first ever service in a mosque. It was very interesting. Rehan explained a little bit of what they do. It kind of reminded me of an old Christian Orthodox service where they're standing up, kneeling, sitting down, standing up, kneeling, sitting down, repetitively, depending on what the priest does. And the leader there, that's what they were doing, and not kneeling, but they start out kneeling and standing up and then bowing down, and so you know, a ring of familiarity there. I didn't understand a single word, but you know, watch it. Unlike a lot of the church services I've seen, that service is very brief. I'm guessing like 5 or 10 minutes, and everybody was done. They go back to work. We got invited to lunch with the management there, and that was, again, it seemed like a team building event. They charge very little for their lunches. They eat together every work day, and I don't know, like something very minimal, like 50 rupees, which is maybe 50 cents. you know, for a complete hot lunch meal with drinks. Meeting some of the people in that room, it looks like they've got very little turnover there. People with, you know, 20, 30 plus years, 35 years experience, hundreds of years experience sitting around that table. Very relaxed, very enjoyable, fresh, hot, again, gourmet quality food. We enjoyed that. We got to finish the tour there. Went from there downtown, and we went to another television interview. This time up on the, I think it was like the 4th floor or something. A smaller television station that I believe Rion had helped to found a number of years ago. And the reporter there was very interesting. He went, and he was very nervous. Come to find out, he had never interviewed a foreigner before. So at first I didn't think he really spoke very much English, but come to find out, as soon as he relaxed, he spoke very, very good English, great English. He asked me a lot of questions similar to what the other television station asked about my perception of Pakistan, and before, after, and the same things. But my big takeaway from that interview was in that reporter, that anchor, that he was so afraid at first, yet when we got to know each other, we became Facebook friends. You know, he's curious about, you know, a lot of things, and so am I. So hopefully we'll get to know each other a little bit better and learn more about each other. But by the end of the interview, he was very comfortable speaking English very well. I think he was just, you know, afraid at first of maybe his English skills, but no problem at all. And at the end of it, seemed like he wanted to do even more. So it was great to see. We went there, we left there, and headed to the dentist. I had an issue that I wanted to look at, and as well as Rion did. We went there. I thought in the United States, every dentist I've ever seen, you need an appointment ahead of time, and then you end up, you know, waiting a day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever, to get an appointment. Unless it's an emergency, then they'll try to squeeze you in. But here it was a first come, first served dentist. We walked in, the guy greeted us, had us fill out forms, and within a few minutes he was in the chair. They did his procedure. He was done relatively quickly and came back out. For me, he thought he was going to have a root canal, but he had an extraction. And when, you know, they came time to pay the bill, you know, in the United States, the dentist that I'm used to, it's relatively expensive, $30 for him. So, and I priced some dental procedures for myself, and it was about 1/3 of the cost that they charge in the United States. I found out there's a lot of medical and dental schools here that a lot of the physicians and dentists in the United States actually get their education here. It was very professional. The dentist was very cordial and spoke perfect English, knew exactly what I wanted, knew exactly what he wanted, needed, took care of him, and probably one of the fastest dental visits I've ever had in my life, and fastest that I've ever seen 2 people get in and out of the dentist with. So very impressed with that. Back home to sleep, and that was the end of day 6.